Alright guys, don't mind this big mess of parts. Got a lot of stuff coming in. But tomorrow I'm going to start taking this thing apart to do the transmission. Or the clutch, but basically, yeah, transmission's got to come out. So I'm going to start taking that stuff apart tomorrow. But today, let me turn this around and show you what we're going to do. Today we're going to replace all these vacuum lines with new vacuum lines because they all look kind of shitty, so why not? I might even remove this washer reservoir because the motor went out and it doesn't spray, and I'm not really sure I need it, so I might get rid of that. Also, the other day I went and bought an ignition coil. If you remember, a couple months ago we did the cap, rotor, spark plugs, and the wires. And I didn't even think about getting a coil, but apparently a coil was only it was like $44 at AutoZone, but I had $20 like redemption thing, so I used that. I'll replace these two up here. I went to Riley's because they had vacuum line today, and I bought the whole damn roll. So I bought all of what they had, so that should be enough to do this. I'm just gonna take them off one at a time, cut them to length, and then just replace them one at a time. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that, and then you know what, I'll do the ignition coil first because that doesn't look too hard. That just looks like a couple 10mm bolts holding that thing down on there. One right there, one over here, and then there's some Phillips screws holding it onto the actual bracket. So I'll probably take the whole thing off, bring it in the garage, and screw the new one on. Let me take these 10mm out and we'll get to that. But I'm gonna put some gloves on so I don't make a big mess. But yeah, I'm gonna grab 10mm. So I took this out, and inside this control module, it might be kind of hard to see, but you can see slightest tiny little bit of corrosion in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that down and clean it out before I install this again. But I'm going to take these 4 screws out, and we're gonna replace it with this, the Duralast C903. So this should be the same coil, or somewhat close to it, hopefully. Oh yeah, that is the same. So yeah, I'm gonna take them screws out and we'll go ahead and get this replaced. Be right back. So I got the new coil mounted on the control module. Now I'm just gonna take it, put it back in the truck. Those two 10mm. So let's go over there. All right, ignition coil is back in. I took the second while the whole module was off. I wiped down the area where it bolts to, so it's nice and clean. Not all of it, but I'm gonna clean the rest of it. But when you can't get under there while it's out, it's good to have it cleaned off. But that's done. Now I'm gonna move to vacuum lines. So let me start removing and cutting some new lines, and I'll be back. All right, guys. So I'm done for now. Coil installed. Vacuum lines installed all the way around. Come back over here, all new vacuum lines. The only two I didn't replace are these two right here, because this is 3mm or 1/8 vacuum line, and apparently the line that I took off was a tad bit bigger. So yeah, it's working, but these two, I could replace them, but they won't fit on that new line setup that I made right there. That's 3/16. So there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to jam a 1/8" fucking vacuum line over a 3/16 line. Not possible. So we're not gonna try it. So those two I'll replace when I just delete all that and do the manual locking hubs, because they do have manual locking hubs. I also installed these new lug nuts because the ones that I took off were the wrong style. These are the acorn style, the ones that taper in, and the ones that I took off are these. So you can see it kind of tried to acorn out the the bottom of the lug nut, but also these washers. Every time you'd hit a bump, the washers would just rattle around because they weren't touching nothing. So that's done. That's done. Vacuum lines are done. I also removed the washer reservoir, which I figured out why it stopped working. So when I got down to it, boom, this was still plugged in, but it was no longer connected to this corroded thing, which is crazy because it worked for the longest time, and then it one day just stopped working. So maybe I hit a bump too hard or something and messed it up. Then also went ahead and I did carpet clean the inside of the truck the other day, and I'll show you guys that after we do this transmission replacement. But did remove the shift setup here, the console, and the boots. So I'm gonna leave it like this so I could take it around the block and then double check my lug nut torque, because I don't have a jack that would lift this. So I just removed one at a time, torqued it down, one at a time, torqued it down, all the way around the truck. And then when I finished, I came back around, I torqued them all down again. But I want to take it around the block, and I want to double check the torque on those. Yeah, I think that's it for the day. So I'm gonna say I torqued them to 85, and the book here says 65 to 87. So I think 85 is a decent number. I go 85 when they click, and then I kind of go a little more, so it's probably more than 85. But that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna start ripping the transmission out so we can do all this. Plus there's more in the mail. I'm hoping it's all gonna be here by Thursday. We still have a shit ton of energy suspension stuff is coming in. Sway bar end links, because I can literally rattle the sway bar around right now and it just tinks around. It's like ting 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 ting. So it's fucking annoying. So we're gonna do that. Motor mounts, transmission mount, because transmission has to come out, so why the fuck would I not do it? So in the motor mounts, the starter has to come out to take the transmission out, so got a new starter. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming, so I'll see you guys in the next couple days, but for now I think this is it. So see you in a couple days. Later.